What's up, nerds? Welcome, 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 welcome. In this term, we are going to talk about CSS in depth. You're going to learn a bunch of CSS. You're going to learn how to make your websites look amazing. Okay, and I'm also going to kind of be a little more hands-off this term. Last term, I was walking you through every single step of how to build your web pages from scratch. I was going through every single part of each assignment. This term, I'm not going to be doing that as much. I will help you out with things that might be a little difficult. I'll look at the assignment and see if there's a step in there that may be a little confusing. But for the most part, I'm just going to give you a quick overview of what you'll be learning in the material, and then a quick overview of what your website or what you need to do for that day. But I won't be walking you through. So these videos should be a little shorter. All right, here are all the references that you need to look at. Let's do a quick review of what CSS is. So CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. It is a companion language to HTML. So HTML is the structure of a web page. CSS is what the web page looks like. CSS is going to save us a lot of work because we're going to do all of our changes to a CSS external file, and then we'll be able to apply that external file or that CSS file to many different pages, and it will keep the same styling format for us. So here's a demo that shows you how versatile CSS is. So we have this style here, and you can click on Style Sheet 2 to see a different style. Again, this is all the same HTML content, just different style sheets being applied to this page. So there's all kinds of different styles. And here's with no style sheet. So no style sheet, this is what it looks like. Obviously that looks terrible. This looks a lot better. So that's what CSS can do for you. So we've already talked about syntax, the syntax of CSS, but basically it works like this. You have a selector, and the selector is pointing to a specific HTML element that you want to apply changes to. So you use your selector, so H1, and then inside of these French brackets, the curly brackets, you have your declarations. Okay, and each declaration is made up of a property and a value. So this declaration is has the property of color, meaning this is what we are going to change about this H1, and then the value of that change. So we're going to change the color of this H1 to blue. Or specifically, we're going to change the color of every H1 on our page to blue. We're going to change the font size of our H1 to 12 pixels. Okay, so that's how these work. That's how CSS works, right? And that's what it looks like in the code. You can select by element, so you can select every single paragraph on the page if you just use P as your selector. You can also select by ID or by class. Let's see. You can select elements within a specific class, so it only applies to elements, paragraph elements inside the center class. There's all kinds of ways you can use selectors. You can group your selectors together. So let's say here we want a H1, H2, and our paragraphs to all be aligned in the center, and we all want them to be red. Instead of writing it all out like this, we can just group them together, H1, comma, H2, comma, P, and then we apply those changes. We can add comments in CSS, which is great. Please don't ignore the exercises at the bottom because they will really help you with these assignments, especially with me not showing you step by step how to do everything. Here's some more CSS stuff. This is really important. You're going to want to make sure you know how to do a link to an external style sheet, especially for this assignment, because we're going to do that today. Make sure you know how to do that. I will actually walk you through that step. Colors, which we talked about last time, but there are many ways to reference colors in HTML, hexadecimal, RGB, name values, things like that. You can also apply cool backgrounds to your page. You can do a solid color just by changing the background color, which is great. You can also apply an image to your background. For example, you can use a textured image that is built to be able to repeat And you can apply that image to the background and have it repeat itself over and over again, which is great. Cool. All right, so once you're done looking at all of these and learning as much as you can, we want to open up our About Me 11.html. That was the file that we used. The last time we touched it, we were doing forms, HTML forms. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. Let's open up those are my videos. Where's my projects? Okay. So I'll go on to my website and About Me 11. Now, I didn't actually build a form. I let you guys do that on your own, and I didn't actually do it. But this is my gross, ugly website. Okay? This is horrible. And we're going to make it look really good. We're going to make it look a whole lot better. No, get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, so we'll go back. So I want to open that up, and then I want to save my file as aboutmefinal.html. So I'm going to open that up actually in CodeWriter. So open with CodeWriter. And I'm going to save this file as About Me Final, because this is the last time we're changing HTML on the page. So this is my final version of this HTML document. And actually at this point, if you have some of these older versions of your About Me page, you can go through and just get rid of them. You can delete them if you want. That's totally fine, totally acceptable. All right, so now I have that saved. Now I want to remove all internal and inline CSS from my document. Okay, so we're going to go in here and we are going to find any cases of HTML or of CSS that we have, and we're going to delete it. So this whole section right here, this style section, gone. HTML style color white font family courier, gone. Okay. Anything that you have specified with an attribute like height and width, those are fine. You can leave those alone. You don't have to change those. You don't have to get rid of those. But let's find as much of the CSS that we've added to this page as we can and get rid of it. For the most part, I think that's pretty much it. We didn't do a lot of CSS. But yeah, so that's all gone now. Let's save it and take a look at our page. Come on, I deleted the thing. Get rid of that. I don't want a class anymore. Frame. Oh, you know why? I know why. I know why, because I opened up the About Me 11 instead of the, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to open up Final. There we go. So now I have no CSS applied to my page. So my ugly green background and my changes to my font, those are gone. And that's what we want. We want to start from a fresh, basic, bare bones website. So now we are going to insert a link to a file called style.css. So let's make that file first. Before we insert the link, let's actually make that file. So we're going to create a new, actually I'm going to do that in CodeWriter. Let's go to CodeWriter. I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to make it in CSS. It's going to be a new CSS file. I'm going to save it as, and I'm going to call it style.css, and I'm going to make sure it's in my website folder. Okay, so now I have my style.css file. And now when I go to my About Me, now I need to create a link. I need to add a link to that style sheet. So let's actually go back and take a look. Oh, that's my introduction. I don't want that. So that you guys can see the syntax in work. That's the wrong lesson. I'll find it one of these days. There we go, how to. So right here, this link, this is the statement that we want in our HTML page. So it goes in the head of your document, and it's a link statement, and it relates to a style sheet. It is a style sheet. The type is it's text/CSS, and the href is the file reference to where to find that CSS file. So I'm actually just going to pop that in, just copy and paste. I'm going to go up to my head, and right underneath my title, I'm going to paste it. Now, I need to change one thing about this. I can't just leave the link like it is, because my file is called style.css, not mystyle.css. So I'll do that, and I will save it. Save. Now I can jump over to style.css and start making changes. So let's see what we need to do. So I need to create a new blah, blah, blah. Already did that. Now I need to change the background color of my page using CSS in my style.css file. Okay, cool. So let's go in here, and I'm going to get rid of all this stuff because I don't need it. All right. Now, all I have to do is just start typing my CSS code. Body, and I'm going to do background color. And I'm actually going to choose a cool RGB color to make it look really nice. Let's go to colors. Let's find a good RGB color for my background. I want it to be kind of a cool, like a light bluish. Let's try that. Let's try something cool and light. Oh, that's all green. I don't want all green. Let's add some more lightness to it, like an aquamarine kind of. Add some more red. Ooh, that's a good color. So I'm going to use this RGB color right here. And I will go back and I will set it to that. Okay, and now I can save it. When I go back to my web page, I should be able to refresh and my new color is applied. Okay. Again, I didn't change my HTML. I didn't change my about me. I just have it linked to the CSS. So now I can make changes to my CSS file without touching my HTML file at all. Okay. So that's why CSS is super powerful, especially external CSS. All right, what's next? So I've changed my background. Add a few other CSS changes in your style.css file. All changes will be made in this file from now on. You will not add CSS to your HTML page. Okay, so then go back in here, play around, add some more styling to your page. You know, you can H1, color, white if you want. You know, save it, and then you can go back and refresh. So now my H1 is white. So go in and make some changes to the CSS on your page in your external style sheet. Now, when you're done, you'll have this style.css file and your about me final. I'll go ahead and delete all these because I don't need them. And I'll go back and I'll actually delete these because I don't need them. Now all I need is my images folder, my about me final, and my style.css. I'm going to zip those together and I'm going to turn that in, and then you are good for the day. Please spend time experimenting. Have fun with this. Do all kinds of changes. See what you can do with CSS. Explore it as much as you possibly can. Thanks for paying attention. I will see you next time.